I got picked that up for. Oh, it's wet. What the f***'s on that?
Oh shit, that's my special towel.
You f***ing better not be.
Try and pull it open. Alright. Okay, so welcome to the main stage of the tote. The whole back of here was literally, it rained, it was torrential. The big thing here was that a lot of the water was hitting here on this goes, look, I don't know if people know, if you put 48 volt phantom power to this, and this got wet, you're singing into a microphone, it creates a circuit, which means zippity zap, zap, zip, blue lights, the whole thing, someone's dead. So when we got here, it rained, this was completely covered in water. And when I say completely covered in water, I mean the whole thing.
That box was full too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the box was full. This was just completely soaked. So it was literally a death trap. So what we did is we resheeted the entire roof here, redid all the gutters, redid the flashing. There's still a little bit of work. We're going to put a new downpipe in, but we're just making sure for the moment that we get everything done. It's still feeding off fine into an older one that's a bit buggered up, but that's the last job to do here. But it's dry, so up until like all through November and December, what we were having to do was if it rained, we'd come down and we'd literally get 6 big garbage bins and put them along the back of the stage to stop the rot. Like if I move this, you can see here where again the carpet's just rotting out. The stage was bowed, so we re-stumped the stage because it was literally falling in. So it would have been a whole punters club type fiasco. So, but no water, so we're pretty happy. I'm ecstatic because this means that no one gets killed, and my insurance is, oh Jesus, I hope insurance companies don't watch this.
Yeah, right.
I'll be doing, but look how good I do. I work hard to limit people dying in the venue. So, but yeah, this whole thing was just completely rat. So you can even see the water damage up through here, all through here. So this is the gutter underneath here. It was just rotten. Like I could put my whole head through the gutter. I could have put mine and Joe's head through the gutter. It's wonderful the fact that it's rain, there's no water getting in. It gives me peace of mind because when it was looking like inclement weather, I'd literally be standing outside waiting to make a phone call to say, hey, you've got to pull the band off stage because we can't have anyone get hurt.
I remember that waterfall out there.
Yeah, there's been a few. So look, I'm ecstatic. This means that no more rotting carpet, so we've stopped the rot. No more water on stage, no more people getting electrocuted. We run venues in a way that we want constant improvement, so it's perpetual motion. You improve something every day because it makes the venue better for everyone, for punters, for staff, for bands. So these are the type of things we do constantly. So. Right, so this is probably where the most water was coming in. As you can see, the carpet where the water was hitting is actually rotted out. I don't pull that too far, Joe. We'll go with no carpet. But this is how bad it was here. Now, what we did here was we replaced the gutter. You can see it's basically just fallen through. We couldn't, even the emergency light had to come off because of the water damage happening there. So that happened before we got here. But now that we've got, it looks like there's no water because it has been raining, it's dry, that we can actually put that back into service. So, because it is very illegal not to have an exit sign. So, hopefully here, the water's stopped. Now, what we did here, new gutter, new sheets of tin. There's actually there's obviously a chimney here. So we did all flashing around the chimney. Now the other thing that was here was there was an old disused air conditioning thing, and within it there was a hole, just a random hole that, like, I could have jumped through it, like me. My girth could have went straight through that hole. So that was just open. So water was, anytime it rained, there was just water absolutely flooding through here. So it looks like we've got that fixed. So that means that now that the water stopped coming in, we can actually start doing things like fixing the carpet, making sure there's emergency exit lights, fixing the ceiling, because up here is pretty rough. Beep, beep, beep. So we're pretty happy with that. I'm surprised that there's no water leaking through, because it came all the way along. Like, you can actually see the water damage along the walls. You know, you can see floorboards where the water's rotted out the floor to the floor. So it's a big thing. No water upstairs. But there's one other spot I have to check that's dry. It's this wall. I think there was just water just leaking down, hitting this wall. You can see it's just destroyed all the plaster. So if we're gonna wait a little bit longer, it's dry. It's like, I don't want to hit it too hard because it'll probably, I don't know if the wall will fall in, or
Just go straight through it.
or I'll go straight through it, or, you know, the Tote ghost will jump out and, you know, Mel, stop waking me up, bro. I don't know. But anyway, dry. So upstairs, sorted. No leaks. Ask me, do you want to know what we're doing?
What are we going to do today, Shane? Or what are we doing now?
What are we doing now?
Specifically.
Well, after all the ups and stress, putting your hole in my belt. Keep losing weight from stress. Which is alright, because the fact. But yeah.
New health blitz, just
Health blitz.
get
This is here for comedic effect, which guys will love. Won't you guys? Done. Almost got my pants off. But no, is that allowed on YouTube, guys?
Is that your actual belt?
Yeah.
Important job for the day.
That's what happens when I walk in halfway.
That's the important thing.
Something really bad was about to happen to me, guys.
Anyway, there we go. New belt. Well, old belt, new hole. Welcome to Better Totes and Gardens. Off. We're making Brisket Toasties, which I think this is cooked now. Oh, look at that. Caramelized. I stole onions from the last chance, so they're not very good, so I'm not going to have any of them. 2 types of cheese.
Alright, run us through them.
Yeah, might as well do 2 types of cheese. Why not? That one, I don't know what that is.
It's just got a singular hole on it.
It's got holes in it.
Just a couple of holes.
The guy at the market said, yeah, this would be good.
It's not just Swiss, is it?
No, it's not Swish, it's like some, can't remember the name of it. Probably should have listened to him. Anyway, it looks good. This is the, like, the high melt burger cheese. Alright. It's the easy part. I heated the, so we get the toasty, the brisket warm through. I heated up beforehand.
Smart move.
Smart, hey? I don't know if this will ever make its way to a menu item.
Would be a power bomb.
Yeah, well, if it'd end up anywhere, it'd probably end up late night at the last chance.
Yeah, brisket toasty.
Brisket toasty.
Yum.
But the problem is, with the last chance, is that when you do that, you've got to somehow make it vegan.
Yes.
Which is sometimes it's a pain in the balls.
Do you know of any vegan briskets?
We can make them with jackfruit, but it's more porky.
No.
But yeah. Bloody, that looks good. Oh yeah.
I want to get into me smoking and all that. Lazy, you see.
But I did make a barbecue sauce at home.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't be getting the vinegar out and doing all that.
Okay. So you actually made one from scratch, eh?
I did. I used the stuff from the brisket.
Oh, stop it.
Alright, let's see. Alright. Yeah, I reckon it came up alright. It was not as tender as it was yesterday.
It's just as bloody delicious though.
But yeah. It's working. Oh, but well, look, I even, Joe, this is how good I am. I even cook chips.
Well done.
We'll call that done, hey? Anyway, let's see. Look at that. Boom. That would be.
That looks cute, Shane.
Look at that. Lunch. 5, 4, 3.
Very professional.
Wayne's World. So anyway, about a decade ago when we did first start The Last Chance, one of the biggest compliments we got was on how we improved the smell of the toilets. It's an old pub recipe of, it's called cleaning them, but especially the urinals. Now, the Tote was also, as well as The Last Chance, was notorious for the smell of their toilets. Now, one of the first things we did when we got in here was actually
Try and clean the toilets.
Hey?
You tried to clean the toilets.
We tried to clean the toilets, but they kept blocking up. And anyway, urine was just flooding out everywhere. Urine, feces, you name it. If it went in one of these toilets, it came back out the top.
We had Al Carlson sitting in 2 inches of water the first time he did an ad for us.
That's right. But anyway, it turned out that for a couple of years, well, more than a couple of years, that they had a collapsed boundary trap. So one of the things that we had to do within the first 2 weeks of having it was to rip up the entire car park. So if you want to come out here. So basically what we had to do was we had to cut up the concrete, get a little digger in, dig down. The big problem was when it came in that the digger wasn't big enough to actually reach where the boundary trap was. So we went from being like a thing that was going to cost us about 10 grand to something that was probably going to cost us in excess of 30. Thankfully, we've got one of the greatest plumbers in the world, the Plumbing Don, and he said, look, we'll jump in the hole with some shovels. Well, I said I'd jump in the hole with a shovel first, but then he went, fat guy in a hole, probably not going to work out well. So dug away, they found it, we replaced the boundary trap, put an excellent inspection hole in. So that basically means now that we've got a boundary trap where, you know, it means that the urine and feces that you all lovingly deposit in there actually goes out to the sewerage. So that was one of the first jobs we did. So part 2 of that job is that if you've ever drank at the Tote and used the urinals, you might have known that for the last 20 plus years you've not been able to flush the urinal. So look, there's the Plumbing Don there. The next thing we did was we chucked in something called water, which surprisingly helps with the smell. So that's one of the jobs that we've done already. We literally fashioned, you'll see it's all wonky, the water, the way it runs. We made that ourselves. But yeah, so that helps improve the smell, believe it or not. And we clean them, bleach.
Clean.
Miracles. And if you have a look at the kind of stuff that does get left in the old urinal.
Oh, small sandwich bags.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to have your snacks, mate.
You got to have your snacks.
Is that a portrait of you, Shane?
No, but I do have eggs. When we got in here, up until about this point, here and back, was literally, oh no, it was further, wasn't it? It was here. From here back was just rubbish. So the first week we had the place, we just literally filled skip after skip after skip up with absolute shit. There was a urinal up against the wall. We might talk about that in a later episode, but there was a urinal up against the wall. There was
Car tyres.
car tyres. Yeah, there's Leanne. Hi, Leanne. But yeah, we basically just but yeah, we basically just threw it all out because it was junk. So now we've got all this room for activities. Lovely. So I don't care if you put it or not. JD bought spicy ramen twisties. Is it like? It kind of looks like the one, you know, the Shin.
Oh, I shin the noodles.
Yeah, like the good ones.
They're crazy.
It looks like that packaging. We might try it anyway.
I need some
'Cause this is like the greatest thing in the world for me. Look,
Ready?
I like that bonfire one there. Yeah, I'm ready.
Set, go.
Yeah, it's instant spice reaction.
Do have a little bit of kick.
I don't like spicy food. But I'm not going to stop.
The Twisties.
Oh.
I like them. They are spicy though. I'm a big fan.
Burning my tongue. Not in my sinuses.
It's burning my tongue, yeah.
I don't
Thanks,
want
JD.
4 out of 10.
I recommend them.
4, I say 4.
What do you say, Shane?
Oh, great.
Sit on the couch with those?
These are up there, mate. If you combine, if you got a chicken twisty and this,
I really don't like them.
be magnificent.
I don't like them. 3 out of 10.
It's gone down in rating.
I know it. Yeah.
I'm not getting any fun flavours. I'm just getting... I don't want any more.
I like it.
I'm going to open a pack of salt vinegar chips